Good evening, folks. What's happening? And welcome back. It's been a minute, couple weeks,
Been a
uh,
minute.
but things happen, man. But yeah, welcome back to episode number 11 of the Chop Shop Podcast. It's your boy TK with my boy JP Jermaine Powell. We here,
What's
baby.
up?
What's good?
What's up? What's up, man? Chop on. Getting ready to start the second half of the season, man. It's looking good. We're in a lot better spot than we were last year at this time. So,
Oh yeah, we in a hell of a lot better spot. Now,
yeah,
I hated to go into the break with a loss, especially a loss to a scrub team, but you can't win them all, and
no,
we'll get back into that a little bit later.
yeah,
But like I said, it's been a couple weeks, man. Between sickness and I
oh
was
yeah.
on vacation. Took the kids to Universal, and my pockets got emptied out, man. You know.
But one thing we're gonna let the listeners know while we had all that going on, man, we still was on them Braves every day.
Oh
We was on
yeah,
every game, texting back and forth. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
hadn't
We
missed a
kept
beat
up.
with the Braves now.
Yeah, we kept up, man. I didn't get to watch, like I normally do, but
Hmm.
you know how it is, man. Wife ain't having these vacations. You gotta do what your boss tell you, dog.
Right.
But during this past 2 weeks, man, we've had some changes.
Yep.
Uh, the first major one was the trade, of course. Uh, what was that on the 11th? I
Yeah, I
believe it
think it
was
was.
10th or 11th, so up in there. The Braves got the 35th pick of the draft, and we'll talk about that as well. But they got 35th pick from the Kansas City Royals. In exchange, they got your boy Drew Waters.
Yep.
You know, we had such high hopes for him, man, and,
I was
and
shocked.
yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about how he kind of plateaued,
Hmm.
a couple weeks before that, man. He had his ups and downs, and he just never quite, really turned that corner.
Mm-mm.
And it really didn't help his case with the way that Michael Harris
Oh
just
no.
leapfrogged past him, got into the show, and exploded. So, you know, um, he's in the Royals organization now, but they got him. They got right hand pitching prospect Andrew Hoffman
Hmm.
and Double A from the Braves, Mississippi Braves, third baseman CJ Alexander.
Right.
So when it came down, man, what was your take on it?
Man, I was actually shocked because I thought, like I'm sure all Braves fans thought that Drew would actually come up before Michael Harris did, and Drew was the prize prospect out of it. But it's been well documented his struggles, especially with the strikeouts rate that he was having, and like you said, he kind of plateaued. And I still was shocked. I thought that the Braves would definitely call him up, in the second half of the season and see what he had. But with the emergence of Harris, like you said, and then you had, our boy Eddie Rosario coming back, so it really wasn't a clear spot for him to be in right now. So hey, you got to trust AA with that. We got the 35th pick out of it, so
Yeah, man. In AA we trust.
yeah,
Um, so not only that they got that, it helped them because they got some extra bonus pool money, like 2.2 million. So that helped them to, you know, it's gonna help them. They haven't signed
yeah,
anybody yet, of course, but help them to sign, all of their picks because they can disperse that money all over the place to make sure,
yeah,
you know, they get they players. So yeah, man. I wish him the best, man. I
yeah.
hate he didn't work out because we all had big dreams of him, Harris, and of course Acuna roaming the outfield. So
And
you
from
know,
all accounts that I've read and heard about, it was the strikeouts was the biggest concern, that it didn't get better. As you know, it
right.
readjusted his stance and everything, and the strikeouts were still coming at an alarming rate. Now he would go on a little mini tear there, but it was always back to the strikeout. So I think that was one big thing in them dealing him. But like you say, we wish him the best, man. And I'm sure he got a plan with that 35th pick, as we'll talk about. So,
Right. Then you had that move. Then of course we got back our closer, Kenley Jensen. He was out about 2.5 weeks or so with the regular heartbeat.
hmm
And honestly, man, he he couldn't have come back any sooner, man, because your boy Will Smith just
oh
ain't
my
it.
God, no,
You know, and we'll talk a little bit about
yeah,
that. But we got him back. They also uh, signed Robinson Cano,
hmm
and in the process, they put Phil Gosselin for assignment, designated him for assignment. So you know, I, and we'll talk a little bit more about that because that's part of our buy and sell. But
yeah,
you know, you see, AA is constantly moving, dog. He's constantly
constantly.
tinkering, like constantly checking everything, man, making his list, checking it twice. Um, and honestly, man, thus far, every move that he's made has gotten us better, even with Cano. You know, so
That's for sure.
I'm looking forward to seeing what's next. Um, we still waiting on Arcia.
hmm
Well, we got another month or so.
Yeah.
So we got Rosario back like the 3rd of July, somewhere up in there. Um, he's slowly progressing. I mean, he's a lot better than the 3 for whatever it was he left with. So
Anything is better than the 3 for 49, I think it was. So yeah,
yeah, he's knocked in a few runs, hit a home run or two. So we'll see how it go, man. Look, I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, definitely.
But so on the slate of games we had before the All Star break, we had the series that everybody's been waiting on,
Yep.
been looking forward to, which was against the New York Mets. Um, 3 game set. We came into that set down 1.5 games, and I mean, let me just say, I'm glad we didn't get swept. We really didn't need that. Um, I hate we lost 2 or 3, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. But
Yep.
this is a prime opportunity for us to you know come in, take a 1.5 game lead. But we see how it went. So let's start with that.
Oh boy, disappointing series, man. Like you said, that was the one that I've been waiting on. I know that you were waiting on it too. We talked about that, but start with game one. Max Fried came out. He wasn't as sharp as he normally is. But Max Scherzer was lights out though.
Yeah,
The,
sure, it was lights
and
out.
the bats gave Fareed no help. We only managed run one in that game, but like I said, Fareed, he wasn't as sharp as he normally is. But you got to think, I mean, they only got 4 runs out of it. We
Yeah,
gave him no help, but still, I mean, that was just one of them uncharacteristic games at home. We
very.
were pumped up, the crowd was behind them. You was thinking that was it, so you kind of chalked that one up to, well, hey, the Mets got the best of us, and then you went on to game two.
So before we get to game two,
Yeah,
so like you said, Scherzer was lights out.
yeah,
Very uncharacteristic of Freed. He gave up the 5 walks. Um, really, the only highlight of the game was Austin Riley getting that home run.
that was it.
Also, well, I take that back. It was also the debut of Robinson Cano,
Yeah,
and I was surprised by how well he played. Man, I mean,
he
dude's
did.
almost 40 years old. We went 2 for 3.
Yep.
Um, it was a solid game for him, and that's that's all we got out of that.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But moving to game two, I like the way they bounced back, went
Yep.
4-1,
Yep. Four to
um,
one.
off the strength of the bats. You had Matt Olson and Adam Duvall both hit 2-run home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, your boy Strider, he had the 8 Ks, but he only went 4 2/3.
Right.
Like I don't that outing and he had, was it the one against the loss against the Nats? Was that him?
He struggled in. Was it the one before or the one after that? But he struggled in. I think it was against the Nationals.
Because he gave up what, four
Yeah,
or
that was the
five runs?
Nationals. That was the Nationals next series. Yeah.
Yeah. So like he hadn't, his last two starts he hadn't really gone
No.
deep into games, and that's probably the only knock against him is his inability to go that 6 1/3, 6 2/3.
Right.
And I'm not worried about it. I mean, he's
No.
young, 23 years old, still get his feet wet. So I think he'll eventually get stronger and better in
Yeah.
that aspect. But right now as the fifth starter, I would prefer that he did at least give us five and a
Yeah.
third routinely. But yeah, man, he had the 8 Ks. Minter got the save. Um, but it really wasn't a whole lot going on in that game. But again, like I said, you had Matt Olson hit the 2-run homer, and like that was like the beginning of his tear that he's on
Oh
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, so what was your take on that one?
Yeah. We only gave up one run in that game. Like you said, Strider didn't really have his best stuff. Couldn't go deep, but we gave up one run. Olsen and Riley coming to the rescue as usual. But that was a good bounce back game. Held them to one runner, and then you're thinking, okay, if we can get 2 out of 3 in this series, we're looking good.
Yeah, and that was definitely on my mind, man. And then you know, um, got to game 3, lost 7-3.
Charlie Morton.
Charlie Morton go Morton, man.
That's why I said Charlie Morton.
Like dog, he has been so up and down. This it more down than up, but like
Yeah,
he's given up 5 runs 8 times this year, I believe.
yeah, and those we gave up
Maybe
quickly.
9. Like he's giving up a lot of runs, man. And coming into the season, I had my doubts in him because he's a year older, but I didn't
Yeah,
think he was gonna be this, you know. Um, but like I said, he gave up the 5 earned runs. Boy Eddie Rosario, he showed up in that game, went 3 for 4.
yeah,
This was the game that Jensen came back as well.
mm-hmm,
I think he pitched the end of the two to kind of get out there and get back acclimated. If I'm not mistaken, he pitched a full inning. Um, Matt Olson, another home run. That's back to back games.
yep,
And what I appreciated about Olson was that he did it against the Mets. You know what I'm saying? Big dog of the division, and these are the games that you paying him to show up for,
yep.
and he did. So
And in this whole series, man, we talked about last time coming up on this big series that we're gonna learn a lot about the Braves. I think we learned just as much about the Mets. And Braves country, you're gonna have to realize something. This is not the same Mets team from last year. The one
no,
that folded down the end that we called and ran past and all like that. They showed, even though it was just this 3 game series, they showed that they're not just gonna fold up 10th this year.
no, I,
They,
I
they
agree,
showed
man.
that.
I don't think they're gonna lay down.
No,
The Braves just gonna have to beat the hell out of them.
that's what's gonna have to
That's
happen.
that's basically what it is. Like we're not gonna be able to just beat up on the Nets. I mean, not excuse the Nets. Not gonna be able to beat up on the Nats
Right.
and the Pirates and the Marlins of the world and just expect that to suffice because the Mets are losing to everybody. Like the Braves gonna have to just flat out beat them every time they meet them, and that's what it's gonna have to be.
Yep, pitching staff for the Mets is rock solid. They hitters are on point. This is I was talking to in another Braves group where they was like, "Oh man, the Mets gonna Met." I'm like, ah. I said, if anything this series showed you, big game at 3 game series at home, we had a chance to take the division lead. Mets came in ready to play.
Yeah, right. And I'm gonna tell you an example too. Game one,
Yep.
Riley like Scherzer had been lights out. He gave up an early hit, and then he didn't give
Hmm.
anything up until like the seventh or whatever it was.
Right.
But you had Riley get the home run. Then he had two men on base, Ozuna and Rosario, I believe,
Right.
and he pitched his way right out of it. Shut it all down. After that, I was like, oh, it's over now. So you got a guy like Scherzer, and that was only his second game back. Let him, be back for a month and really into it, man. And when we see him again, so it's I agree. I don't think they just gonna lay down.
No, this is not the same Mets team. We're gonna have to take it.
Yeah, and that's just what it is. So moving on from the Mets, we go to the Nats. Um, First game, we win 5-4,
Hmm.
and this particular game was the Michael Harris show. Uh,
That boy good.
yeah, man, he
That
showed in
boy's
this
good.
game. He showed all five of his tools, man.
He did.
Like he hit the 2-run home run.
And that
Um,
was big too.
it big, but what I liked about it, he started at bat 0-2,
Yep.
and he
Yeah,
turned
he
that
did.
into a 10 pitch at bat before he hit that home run.
Yep. He's actually showing more patience at the plate because if you saw earlier on, he was swinging at that first pitch, and pitchers started to figure that out and knew that he was going to go out to the first pitch. But he's showing a lot more patience, and man, has he been coming through in the clutch when needed from the ninth. Well, he's in the eighth spot now, but betting in the eighth and ninth spot, has he not been coming through?
Yeah, like he's been really good, dog.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie. But then you saw also, like I said, talking about his tools. I think he had a stolen base,
Hmm.
but his defense is what's really shining. Was really showing. He threw out Luis Garcia
Oh yeah.
on a single from I think it was Soto that hit it. Hit a pretty hard single, and
Yeah, that
man,
was a
he
rope.
caught it, and he he threw a rope. And shout out to the catcher Travis D'Arnaud for the way he got it and blocked the play. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
Hmm.
a concerted effort by both of them. But
Right.
man, Harris dropped one on it, and again he's showing everything.
Right.
You
He
know,
is.
his hitting, his defense, his prowess on the base pass. Like, dude has 10 stolen bases this year, hadn't got caught stealing once. You know, like
That's crazy.
yeah, he's scoring runs. And he's been a huge lift on the back end of that order. I personally think he should be leading off if Acuna not there, but that's just me. Uh, you know, AA do not AA, but Snake does what he want to do, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yep.
But in that game as well, you had Kyle Wright on the bump. Um, he had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Seven hits, 4 Ks, one walk.
Quietly consistent, man. He's been all year quietly consistent.
Right. That, that gave him his 11th win, which tied him for the lead in all of baseball.
Yep.
And so so we got a nice 1-2 punch. Hopefully Soroka can come back, but right
Yeah.
now,
I
you know,
like to
we
see that.
yeah, we leaning on Free, we leaning on Right. Um, this was Jason's first save since coming back. He did it kind of Will Smith like giving up that solo home run, but
I was gonna say it was an adventure, but
yeah, but he got the save nonetheless. So I mean, I'm not gonna nitpick because of the home run, but
yeah.
I don't like drama like that.
No.
Um, Second game of the series, second to four. Um, we won 8-4. You had Austin Riley. He hit another home run, and that gave him
That gave
five
him.
home runs in
Mm-hmm.
7 games. Yeah, 5 home runs in 7 games.
Smoking.
Um, yeah, he on fire, man. He's on fire and showing why he was an all star. Shouldn't have never been in doubt as being an all star.
No.
And I'll talk a little more about him later. But that win, excuse me, that gave the Braves their 13th straight uh, victory versus the Nats in Washington, and it was their 8th straight win overall versus the Nats.
There's more
So,
Braves fans at the stadium than there was National fans.
I mean, who really want to be a national fan, dog?
Man, I had to look. I was like, now wait a minute, are we playing at home or we on the road? Man, it was so
Right,
many Braves fans at that
right.
game.
Who really want to be a national fan, dog?
Nobody probably right now. Not even Soto, but we'll talk about that later. But
Oh, I ain't mad at him though, man. Like, do you really want to be stuck there for 15 years? Like
obviously not, man. $400 million contract offer you turn.
445, I
Yeah,
believe.
I'm sorry. Yeah, put the 45 in there. 445 million. You turn it down. Obviously, yeah, you ready to move on. I wish AA could work some magic in, but you know,
Man, listen. I don't know, dog. Not for that number, but not to get off track.
yeah.
But let's see what else happened that game. Oh, Matt Olson, another big game, three
I can't wait till
RBIs.
we talk about him.
Um, I believe that was his second consecutive three RBI game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you texted that earlier to me.
Yeah, I did text it to you
Dur-
while we were
yeah,
watching the
during the
game
game, yeah.
because I was like, yeah, man, he just got his his back to back three RBI game. So
hmm
again, he's continuing with his tear.
Man,
You had not Kyle, Ian Anderson. We've been speculating about him for the longest on what might happen with him. But he had a strong game.
yeah, he did
He gave up only one earned run, had 5 Ks. Again, 3 walks, which walks have been dogging him all year.
all year.
But I believe that was his 8th victory. I think he's
hmm
85. You know, um, another fun fact about that game: the losing pitcher for the Nationals was Patrick Corbin,
Yep.
and that loss gave him his 9th straight loss to the Braves,
Wow.
and he became the first pitcher to lose 9 or more games to a team since 2015. So,
Wow. Let's hope he keep his streak up.
right, just keep it going. Like I don't care. Let him keep losing.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, man. So again, that game you still see Olsen. He's doing this thing. Riley is Doc Riley is he's probably the hottest hit in baseball right now. You know, you see him keep going, and that takes us to the next game. Max Fried on the bump. We win 6-3.
hmm
And what was special about this one was Maximus got his 50th win of his career.
Yep.
Um, that was his 114th appearance in his 97th start. Um, and since 1966, when the Braves moved to Atlanta, only 2 other pitchers have reached 50 victories in as few appearances as Max. Pat Jarvis did it. He got his 50th in 113 appearances. And old Kevin Millwood got
Huh.
got 50 in in his 109th appearance, I believe it was. So, shout out
Oh
to
yeah.
them.
That's big.
Um, Olsen hit his 4th home run in 5 games, gave him 3 RBIs. So this is the second of his back-to-back 3 RBI games. So, man, we we've been killing Washington as we should. You
Yeah,
know,
you're right. You gotta beat the teams you should.
yeah. And even though we lost the next one,
Yeah.
7-3. And I know you say you can't win them all. And I wasn't even really mad about them
No,
losing to the Nationals that last game 7-3. But
there were a lot of changes in the lineup, but due to
yeah,
All Star break coming up, and we had 6 players going to the All Star game from us, so there was some regulars not playing. I don't want to use the term mailed it in because I'm sure they were trying to win it, but it just was, it was
I
just
mean,
one of them.
if you gonna get somebody a break, do it against the Nats.
Yeah,
I mean, let's
and they
just be
done what
real.
I like to say is win series. We won 2 out of 3, so win series. You
Yeah,
win series, you be fine.
yeah. So they went 4-3 on that 7-game series
Hmm.
stretch. I really wish it could have been 7-0, but realistically, I was hoping for 5-2.
Yep.
You know, maybe 6-1. I figured we would sweep the Nationals. I'm gonna be real. Uh, and I honestly thought I honestly think and believe we are built to beat the Mets. And I
Oh
figured we
yeah.
would get 2 out of 3 with them. Um, and it kind of hurt my prediction. I've been messing with our boy Terrence. Shout out to my boy Father Time Terrence Locke. Yeah, I told him we was gonna have the lead by the
Yeah.
break, so he still got that over my head. But
Yeah, you're not too
it's
far off
coming.
though.
Yeah, I'm not too mad about it. But in that last game of the series, Olsen hit his major league leading 34th double, and Austin Riley had another hit, which gives him a 13-game hitting streak, man. So he's hot, and Olsen's hot, Swanson's hot. Like I think guys are turning that corner just the right time.
Yep.
I'm glad they doing. I kind of hate they having this break because it could cool them off, but nonetheless, it is needed. So I'm real happy with what we've seen thus far, man.
Me too.
Now, I talked about Austin Riley hitting his home runs and Olsen hitting his. They ain't been the only ones,
No.
you know, dropping bombs. So, like always, I'm gonna give y'all bombs of the week.
Oh yeah.
Tries to keep it alive for Ozuna with 2 outs. Swing drive. This one is not coming back. The Braves are on the board. Swing, fly ball center. Nimmo going back. At the track. At the wall. Matt Olson puts the Braves in front. 2-1 count. Swing, fly ball. Walk left field. That ball is long gone. Dead power, and the Braves extend the lead. So fascinating times in the National League East as this one is scorched towards center. Look at that ball. Carry out to 400. That ball is gone. Austin Riley has hit another home run. 0-2 for Olsen. Swing, fly ball center. Nimmo froze for a moment. Going back, still going back to the wall. Matt Olson puts us on the board with a solo homer. Swing and a drive. How far's that one going? Second deck of the chop house. Gentle breeze blowing out
He
toward
killed
left
that
as this
one.
ball is
Yeah,
hit
he
high
did.
in the air, deep left down the line. That ball is gone. Swing,
go.
fly ball, well hit deep right.
Got all
Soto goes back. 10 pitches later, it's a homer.
Man, he hitting them all over.
Swing, fly ball, that is
Riley.
walloped. Make it 8 home runs in 16 games. Austin Riley.
Kicking the pitch. Swing and a long drive. Deep left field. Way back.
Duval fresh off
Going,
the,
going, and caught.
paternity leave.
Goodbye.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to him and
Smoked
his
into
new
left center
addition to
field
his
and deep.
family.
Arcia has left the building. Fly ball, well hit. Thomas going back at the track, at the wall. It's an up home run for Olsen. 3-1 count. Swing, fly ball center. Robles on the run. Back toward the Bermuda Triangle. He goes as far as he can, and it's gone.
And I think that's my favorite part of the whole episode, man. Bombs of the week.
Yeah, especially reliving out, watching it again, man, because it's something about just rewatching it. Like, wow.
Yeah. So out of all the ones we had for this past week, which one was your favorite one?
Oh man, I'm probably gonna go with the one Olsen hit against the Mets, the one that put us up 1-0 that when he hit.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go with that one. That was huge.
So I'm gonna stay with the same series.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say my favorite one was the one Austin Riley hit.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why is because I damn sure didn't want us to get blanked by the Mets, dog.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Scherzer was in his bag, bro.
He was.
He was dealing, and like I said, he gave up that first hit like in the second or third inning or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, Max Scherzer retired 20 of his first 21 batters in that contest. He got hit by the eighth one, and then he retired 1 through 8. They got a hit, and then he retired the next 12. So yeah, that was my favorite one, man. Seeing old Austin Riley break that shutout up, because I just couldn't have it.
And don't you just love hearing Chip Carey with the home run call, man?
Yeah, I do.
He'd be so excited. I love it.
Yeah, I really do, man. So we looking at the bombs of the week, and
right,
man, we kept seeing Riley, we kept seeing Olsen, So since we seeing them now, we might as well keep it going and talk a little bit about them for this hit buy and sell.
Oh, this my
buy or sell.
I'm at 35 down 40, 40, now 5 at a number, 45, 45 at a number, 50, I'm at 45 at a number, 50, sold for.
Oh yeah, my favorite part of the show.
Yeah, so let's start off.
Okay.
With, I don't want to start off with neither one of them. I want to start off with this guy right here, Robinson Cano. So they went and got Cano. We talked about it earlier, Gosling to assignment. So I'm gonna ask you this: buy, sell, was it a good move, and why?
I'm going to buy it. It was a good move because you're trading another veteran leadership for veteran. And to me, even his prime is past. We know that with Cano.
Well past.
I think he's still better than what Phil Gosselin was giving us. Because if my baseball fans, if you think back some years ago, Cano was the number one second baseman in the game at a time. Huge contract from the Mariners, and he played with the Mets. Didn't work out there, but
they still paying him.
Yeah, they still paying him. But I think his defense, his what he can bring to the brain, leadership. He's not going to be an everyday player for one, and I just think his bench presence. And to me, when you weigh him or Gosling, I take my chance with Cano. And speaking of Mr. Gosling, we'll see him Friday. He got picked up by the Angels, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we'll see him Friday. Don't know if he's going to play any, but, I mean, when it comes down to them two, would you rather have Cano take your chances on him if he can give you a little bit, not playing every day, filling in? I'd rather go with Cano. So, yeah, I'm buying it. That was a good move.
So, I'm going to have to agree. I'm buying it as well. For all the reasons that you stated, Now, but when I saw them do it, man, it kind of had me worried as well.
Yeah, I was shocked.
And the reason why it had me worried is because it made me immediately think, is there a setback?
Yep.
With
That's
Arcia?
what I thought right there.
Not Arcia, Albies. I don't know why I always get them confused when I say their name, man. My apologies.
Man, them A's.
Yeah, Albies. And then it made me think, well, they really got to be worried about the production of Arcia and Gosling. I mean, they wasn't getting it done, obviously,
No,
if they made this
Arcia
move.
started out actually very well when
Yeah, it
when all
did.
this went down, but then he went into a slump. And Gosling, God bless his heart, we wish him well, but he wasn't that guy, man. He just wasn't.
Yeah,
Never
I
even
mean,
the bat.
Phil was a band-aid. He was
Yeah,
he was a piece of tape holding the band-aid on. You know what I'm saying? So, but then they brought in Cano, and Cano immediately became the starter.
right.
So I'm buying it. Uh, and he's had some success.
Yeah,
Um, I mean he's played what 6 games? I want to say no 5. He's played 2 against the Mets and 3 against the Nationals, and he's went 4 for 18 with the Braves thus far. Um, Scored a run, had knocked any in. His defense has been solid. So I mean, you getting solid bat, solid defense from the 38-year-old Robinson Cano. So I get it.
yeah.
I I know you're gonna like this one. Moving on, buy or sell. Damn it, don't even worry about it. Just buy it. Will Smith should not be closing any more games.
No, 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 no. He was shaky last year when he was in the closer role, and thank God that he came through and was able to win the ship with him. But Will Smith days as a closer should be over. I'd rather have Tyler Massey in that spot. I mean,
Yeah,
it's woof.
yeah.
I don't know.
So we both buying it.
Yeah, we buying that.
Uh,
I ain't gonna have to spend much time on that.
yeah, we both buying it. As a matter of fact, I even overpay when I'm buying it.
Yeah,
Um, Listen, man, I he hard to deal with, dog. And you go back and you look at his numbers and you look at his splits. Like he just hadn't cut it, man. And they paying him 13 million a year, and he's definitely not living up to his
no.
contract.
If you want to call it, I wouldn't say it was a mistake, but if you want to question anything AA has done thus far, that will probably be the one.
And
Signing him.
yeah, I wouldn't call it a mistake because I mean, look what he did for us last year, right?
Correct.
So
he earned another year at least.
Yeah, he earned it, and I don't think they overpaid him because I think he would have had a solid market to where he would have gotten at least close to what the Braves gave him. But damn it, Will Smith,
Hey, Jansen's scary enough, and you got
right.
some other better options that you can go with before Jansen. Like I said, Tyler Massek, you can go with Jesse Chavez. He's a steady veteran that comes in. He's not flashy. He wearing them dark shades out there, but he gets the job done. So I don't know, man. Will Smith is whew.
Dog, it's like a high price. Him and Jesse right now is like a high price game of Fear Factor. we talking almost $30 million to be scared as hell when your closer come in. That ain't good, man.
No, it's not at all.
I don't want to keep beating up on him, so I'm gonna just leave it be. But we both buying. He should not be closing any more games.
No.
All right. Let's slide to. I'm gonna go this route. Matt Olson has finally put it all together. Buy or sell.
I'm gonna buy it. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna buy it. Not only did Brave Country and Freddie Freeman need to get over, the big reunion and the tear fest that we had when Freddie came back to
Oh my
Truist Park,
gosh.
but somebody else needed that to happen too, and that's Matt Olson. I think that once that got all the way, because Matt Olson felt like the ex, the ex that comes around with the new family and all, and he wasn't there for last year's celebration and all of that. So I honestly think he was not very comfortable with that. But I think it was a relief to him once all the Freddie stuff got out the way, the Cry Fest got out the way, and notice his game has really stepped up since then. I think he's comfortable with that. People forget that he wasn't a part of this last year. So yeah, it's evidence of his bat, man. The home runs, the doubles. What has he got? 64 doubles right now. He's
No,
second on the.
he's on pace. He's at 34, but he's on pace for like
I mean,
60.
yeah, 34, but he's got 60 RBIs. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was saying. He got 60 RBIs, second on the team right now, 17 homers. I mean, he's really. If you go back to when they played the Dodgers, he has been on a tear. He's played exceptionally well since then, and I think he's another person that needs to have that Freddie Drummond put behind him.
Man, I totally agree, man. Like I'm buying it.
Yeah,
I'm buying it. Hook, line, and sinker. Tear up the receipt. I don't need it back because I'm buying it. So, I kind of talked about it earlier against the Mets, against the Nationals. His bat has picked up, his defense has picked. He's made some good plays in the field. He's had an error or two, but whatever. But as of right now, going into the break, he's hitting 6 straight games.
mm-hmm.
He has 11 RBIs. He scored 5 runs. He's hit 3 home runs in the last 6 games. Month of July, okay, he's hit 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's batting 265, which is, what he is. He's a 260, 270 hitter.
Oh, yeah.
We knew that. He's hit 8 doubles, 514 slugging. He's on pace for 60 doubles. And no major league has hit that many in God knows how long. I talked about it a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
And he's I think on pace for 85 extra base hits.
Shoo.
And when you look at that, fun fact, the only other Braves to get 85 or more extra base hits in the modern era have been Chipper Jones. He did it in 99. Hank Aaron did it in 59. And Eddie Matthews did it in 53.
Look at that company.
Right. So Buddy is joining exclusive company, hollow grounds as far as Braves are concerned in his first year.
Wow.
So, all the talk about him, all the naysayers, all the doubts, it should be gone. I honestly believe he's turned that corner. He's comfortable in his skin. He's comfortable in that clubhouse.
Yep.
He's comfortable on that field. And Buddy about to do numbers.
You can see it. His chop has even gotten better.
Right. He was
when he first got here, he was.
Yeah.
Now he.
He's doing it with authority now. And that goes with, like you said, being comfortable.
Yeah, he's comfortable, and
He's
I'm
ready.
glad, man, and I'm glad Brave Nation has finally started to accept it, man, because it was a lot divided with that. I used to read in different groups and talk to different people, So I was always tell them, man, just give Matt a chance. You're gonna see him. A lot of people didn't watch him when he was in Oakland, but Buddy can play.
Then you play, and then it don't hurt that he's a hometown kid. Like
Right.
that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want. Just like Harris, hometown kid doing his thing.
Kid.
That's
Dansby,
what you want to see.
hometown kid.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. So yeah, again, we both buy
Oh yeah, bye.
the absolute hell out of that. Finally, Austin Riley will be a top 3 MVP candidate.
Well, before I buy it, I have to call him by the name that I call him. And when I text you, it's never Austin. It's my boy Riley. That's what I
Yeah,
say every time. My boy Riley. That's man. I'm telling you, he should. I'm buying it. He should have been a MVP candidate last year.
right.
To be honest with you, he should have won the MVP last year because his numbers were right up there and he could have won it. And right now, he's actually doing better at this point of the season than he was last year. He had a higher batting average last year, but everything else, like right now, the number is 27 home runs. He on pace to have 52 for the year. And I mean,
Wait, 33 last year?
yep, he's only at 33. Last year, he had 103 hits. I mean, 197. He's already at 103 now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on pace to kill everything he's done,
And
career
like you
high.
said, he was in the conversation for MVP last year and had a darn good case to get it last year. So it's nothing new with Austin Riley. It's basically fans outside of Atlanta that don't really tune in to see him on a regular basis. It's kind of like he's the overlooked one, if you want to say, on the Braves team. But yeah, I'm buying it. He should be a top 3 candidate this year.
Bro, I think if he was in a large market,
That's what it is.
he
That's it.
would you know, it wouldn't even be a conversation in my opinion. But yeah, so as for me, I'm inclined to agree as well. I'm buying it um for every reason that you said. And I mean, look what he's done leading up to the break, right? You gave the numbers 103 hits, 27 home runs. And those aren't hollow numbers. Like he's been like raking
Yes.
when we need it. You know what I'm saying? Just this week alone, you look at when he got those hits, those home runs he's knocked in, and you look at again, he's on a 13 game hit streak.
Yep.
During the streak, he's had 7 home runs, 13 RBIs. Right now, he's leading all National League third basemen in homers, RBIs, slugging, OPS, and then he's got the third most home runs in Major League Baseball. All of this while leading, the Atlanta Braves.
And he probably got a pretty darn glove in the field too, as well.
Exactly.
That
Like
people don't realize.
he's showing his worth on both offense and defense. And it's a shame that the world hadn't really taken notice of
No.
this. But yeah, man, I totally agree that Austin Riley probably should have got it last year, and
Yep.
he should be top 3 this year. And truth be told, what might hurt him is the fact that Dansby Swanson,
Yep.
probably Max Fried or Kyle Wright will all land in the top 10, top 12.
Yep. And that
You
will
know,
hurt him actually.
I think that may hurt him a little bit, but just on the surface of what he's doing in a vacuum, he should be top 3.
Yeah. And the listeners that don't know, we are in a part of this sports group on Facebook, Sports Talk 101, and I did a while back. Remember I did the rank 'em series where I picked like 5 players and I put rank 'em 1 through 5. I did third baseman and I had the Machados in there. I had the Austin Rileys in there. And I was curious to see what a lot of people said. And outside of Brave
Yeah,
country, Riley's definitely last.
yeah,
So I had to pull numbers with one of our baseball gurus. I won't name him, TJ Miller, but I had to pull numbers because he was like Riley's last. I'm like, look at the numbers. His numbers better than Machado and all these other people. Y'all just go on names. Y'all looking at the
exactly.
big names. And once he saw that, he was like, well, I didn't realize that.
And that's the majority of the country. They don't realize what we have down in the A. But he gonna show their ass come World Series time. And that's in the words of Fars, that's all I got to say about that.
And he from the SIP too. So hey, I'm all with
Exactly.
Austin.
So we
I'm
gonna
all with Austin.
always pull for him. But yeah, man. So we had a good week.
Yep.
4-3 against the Nats.
Yep.
Made some moves. Now we going to the All-Star break, but we also had the MLB draft, man, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Now the Braves had 22 picks. We're not gonna go through all 22. Maybe the first 4 or 5, man, because they carry a little more significance.
Yeah,
But
'cause half
and
of them
and
may
that's
not ever make it to Atlanta. So yeah,
yeah, and that's not the down the other
no,
kids or nothing like that. But you have higher expectations for
right,
those top picks. So, especially the ones they traded,
correct.
players for. But yeah, we're gonna get a little bit into the draft.
20th pick of the 2022 MLB Draft, the Atlanta Braves select Owen Murphy, a right-handed pitcher from Riverside Brookfield High School in Riverside, Illinois. The Seattle
he's a
Mariners
dog.
have the next pick.
I'm Fred McGriff, and with the 35th pick of the 2022 MLB Draft, the world champion Atlanta Braves select
Oh, Fred.
J.R. Ritchie,
I love Fred, man.
right-handed
That
pitcher
kid got some
from
heat right there.
Bainbridge High School, Bainbridge Island, Washington.
That kid got some
Pittsburgh
heat.
Pirates,
Yeah, he does.
the 7th pick of the 2022 MLB Draft, the Atlanta Braves select Cole Phillips, right-handed pitcher from Bernie High School in Bernie, Texas. The Seattle Mariners have the next pick.
They restocking that farm system.
Draft, the Atlanta Braves select Blake Burkhalter, a right-handed pitcher from Auburn University. The Toronto Blue Jays have the next pick.
The Braves select Drake Baldwin, a catcher from Missouri State University, St. Louis.
Fair to say this is a bat-first catcher.
So let's talk about it, man. First pick, 20th pick, Owen Murphy. Now you sent me some stuff immediately on him, so I'm gonna let you start things off talking about Owen Murphy.
Owen Murphy, man, you know how many high school kids come out every year for the get drafted from high school baseball. This literally thousands up in the probably close to millions. It's a lot of players. So he was the 25th nationally ranked player in all the country, and we got him as a pitcher. But something else, Tyrus, that's interesting about him.
Oh, he can hit.
We talked about all these people. How many kids it is coming out in the draft? He's the number 3 overall third baseman in the entire country. But we got him as a pitcher. So could this be our new Ohtani?
No,
He ain't playing third. You're right, but
I don't think so, man.
he got a bat.
Yeah, he has a bat. He hit 548.
Yep.
18 home runs as a senior. But the Braves have made it explicitly clear, dog, that they want him as a pitcher.
Yeah, he got 3 good pitches, man. The fastball, the curveball, and the changeup. But the fastball is coming in at 92 miles per hour. That's what it's topping out at. And that's dang good. That's coming out straight out of high school. And I'm sure with the Braves pitching staff farm system, they may be able to get a little bit more on that. But, man, and as a hitter, he can hit to all parts of the field. I was watching some of his tape and some of his games, man. He hits for contact. And he can hit from the right. He can hit from to the right side of the field or the middle, where he hits everywhere. So if they wanted him to also be a DH, possibly, he could.
Yeah. The what's his name? Dana Brown, the head scout.
Right.
So what was interesting about that was during the draft, they talked to Dana about that, right? And they had this kid as like a 4th or 5th rounder as a fielder, hitter and fielder. But they had him, of course, 1st round grade as a pitcher. Now not everybody, but the Braves did.
Yeah.
And they interviewed Dana about this, and he was talking about, how they went and saw him play and the way he was mowing people down.
Yeah, he was. I saw
as a
some
pitcher.
highlights. Like, wow.
Yeah, they was convinced that this guy will be a pitcher, and according to the interview they had with him, that's where the Braves want him. But what was funny was when they interviewed the kid, he talked about, being a two-way player. So it was like this odd little back and forth where they interview the kid, and, they interview Dana, then they interview the kid, and go back to Dana. He's like, nah, he's a pitcher. But, either way, man, I think, the kid can play.
Oh, yeah.
But, I would want him as a pitcher, too. His ERA was 0.12, dog. 0.12, not 1.12, 0.1.
Nobody hitting him.
Nobody. So,
and just like I text you, I said I would like to see him do both ways if they want him, but I told you he ain't playing third. I don't know where he's gonna play. So
yeah, you said that immediately. Like he ain't playing third, and that's I don't think he'll see the field, dog.
Nah.
Outside of him having complications as far as a horrendous injury to his pitching arm, I don't see him playing in the field. So,
I think they want him as a pitcher.
And then now that they got the DH in the National League, he won't be able to use his bat much. But he was 20. Then you saw J.R. Ritchie.
Yep.
Like he's throwing 96, 97.
Yeah, he was.
His ERA was 0.40.
And he got that swag about himself too. I was watching some highlights and different things. So yeah.
Yeah, and he had a crazy strikeout to walk ratio. I think it was like a 75-4 strike. That's insane. Insane.
That's crazy.
Like the Braves really beefed up their arms in the farm system. I think of the 22 they had, I think might have 12 or 13 might have been pitchers. 4 of the first 5 picks were pitchers.
Yeah, and keep in mind this was the trade.
Yeah,
this was the 35th selection.
Yeah, and we gonna get to him in a second because I got something to say about that. But you had Cole Phillips.
Yep.
Left-handed pitcher. He might have been the only left-handed pitcher they drafted.
I think he was, yeah. I think everybody else was righties.
But he had Tommy John, and he pitches. He's from Texas, out here where I'm at, and he probably would have been the number 1 prospect had it not been for, that injury.
Right.
But with modern medicine and all that, plus he's young.
Yeah, take a chance on him.
Yeah, I think he has huge upside, and this could be a huge steal.
Yeah.
For Atlanta, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. The good part about it is, though, they not in a rush to bring any of these kids because Green's young, Strider's young, Anderson's young, Wright's young. They got all.
He can come back as young.
Soroka, his injuries aging the hell out of him, though. But on the surface, he's young too. So they have like these young guys already in the majors. And they got some nice, prospects, like the number 7 prospect. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's doing well in AA down in Mississippi. So they have, all of these young guns, so they don't have to rush them. These guys can get acclimated, they can learn, they can grow. The Braves did well, man. So now we get to the 35th pick. Blake Burkhalter out of Auburn. Closer. He's a closer. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you what bothered me about this pick. And it wasn't a pick. It was what people was calling this pick, the Freddie Freeman pick. Because they was calling him the, a comp pick for the Braves losing Freddie Freeman.
Right.
Which is just highly disrespectful, man.
Yeah, it is.
Don't put those type of expectations on this guy, right? Because if you hear people hear, oh, he's a Freddie Freeman pick, whatever. Now it's got to be, oh, he's got to produce right now. When that's in reality, the compensation they got for Freddie Freeman is Matt Olson, and he's doing this thing. So
yeah, he is.
I just want people to just let this kid do his thing and grow and learn, and hopefully they can bring him up, and he will be our closer because damn it, Will Smith got to go.
He does, and another Auburn Tiger has endorsed him, and that's Tim Hudson.
Tim Hudson, that was
Tim
his pitching
Hudson's
coach.
very high on him. So, hey, Tim was a former Brave. He's from the Atlanta area, so I tend to think he knows what he's talking about. But Tim has endorsed him and said that he will be in a Braves uniform, and we'll be counting on him in some years to come. And like you said, hopefully we can get somebody else before for Will, because Will needs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he ain't it. And Jansen on the 1-year deal, so we don't know how that's gonna go. And then that 5th pick, Drake Baldwin, catcher, and a lot of people look at him right now as a 20 to 25 home run hitting catcher. Now his defense needs work. He's a prospect.
Yeah, the funny part about this kid is, I'm down here in Mississippi, so Southern Miss baseball, which is very underrated baseball. If people don't know about them, the Golden Eagles, man, they actually have a very good baseball program. And just so happened, man, they was playing South Missouri State, where he's from, what team he played for, and they was playing them last year. And I actually got I watched the 3-game series of that, and he had some nice hits. I didn't even realize he was a catcher because he was like one of their top offensive options, on the thing. So offense is not a question with the kid at all. It's just going to be, and hopefully he'll be Denard's replacement, or that's who they groomed him to be, because your boy is taking over Contreras once Denard is out the fold. So
yeah, and that's another good thing. You got these young catchers in the fold already. With Travis, with William. So and you still got Pena, he's out, 6 and 8.
Yep.
So
and you can bring the kid up slowly too. So
yes. So what Atlanta did this draft, it kind of reminds me of like the powerhouse football teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when they bring kids, from high school into the, to come to college, like Alabama.
Right.
They ain't bringing them in to start immediately. They bringing them in to groom them, and they just keep reloading and keep, feeding the system. There's a reason why, you have guys who didn't play much for Alabama still get drafted, because they just that good, and they're well coached and well taught. So that's kind of like what I see Atlanta doing with this draft, man. And
good comparison.
It was a good draft, man. I was happy with it.
Yeah, I was pleased.
They building up their arms, and I don't think they'll sign all 22, but hopefully they will. So
yeah.
So let's see, man. What did we miss? Oh, let's talk a little bit about the All-Star weekend real quick, and we'll probably get more in depth on the next episode when we got a lot more time. But your boy, my boy, you see him. My boy,
who the heck was throwing pitches to him?
I think it's a league-wide hate against Acuna, man.
Can we get some meatballs like everybody else was getting?
Everybody else was getting, and I'm watching like, so y'all just ain't gonna throw him anything, huh?
Dude, I'm looking like it's high and inside and low and away. I'm like, who in the world is?
So we in the home run derby,
right?
And they pitching to Acuna like it's the bottom of the ninth.
Did you see that?
And it's 1 on, 2 out. Man in scoring position. They got to get him out. That's how they pitch him in the home run derby.
And no offense to my boy J Rod over there in Seattle, man, but he was like he was playing T-ball. They was just dropping the ball right to him, and he just blasting it. But then when I saw Acuna get up there, he's stepping back, dodging pitches like you said, like it's in the 9th inning. I'm like, what the heck is he?
They was pitching him like a real doggone game, man. And I ain't like that.
And he still hit 19?
Yeah, he hit 19 in the first round, man.
I would have liked seeing Austin Riley in it myself.
Yeah, I would have, but I'm just glad that they put him in.
Oh yeah.
It shouldn't have came down, to what it came down to, but excuse me, I'm glad that that he did get in.
Yeah.
But you had, like you said, we had 6 players in the All-Star game. Max Fried didn't get to play because he had pitched. Excuse me. He had pitched like that day before.
Right.
I believe it was. But shout out to Snick for having the Dodgers Kershaw as a starting pitcher. In LA, you could have argued Alcantara as a starter, but come on, man. Like a lot of people are mad about that. I'm like, come on, man. It's in LA. It's in LA. Because if we was in Atlanta and Max Fried was there, he would have pitched at least 1 inning.
Oh yeah, he was gonna start and pitch at least 1 inning.
You know what I'm saying? And like nobody should be mad about that. You at home. All-Star game is for the fans. You let the home team fans see their people. So I salute him for
I ain't mad with that.
But yeah, man, Acuna did his thing, man. He scored the first run. Austin Riley, he had got like the first hit in like 6 innings, What Dansby, he flied out twice.
Yeah.
Contreras, he what did he do? Did he fly out? He didn't get a hit. I like that how they had him. He batted behind his brother. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was very cool.
That was excuse me. The All-Star game, I liked it, man. It was cool seeing 6 Braves. That was the most we've had in 8-9 years, I believe it was. 2014, I think we had 6.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, it was good to see the guys out there. It was good that Austin Riley was made an All-Star when he should have been one. Period.
Yeah.
Here nor there. I hate for Reed to get the pitch, but I understand he's still an All-Star, so it is what it is. And hopefully all those guys who earned that, who earned that All-Star nod continue to do their thing, in the second half. And on the next episode, we'll talk about the second half. But we talked about the draft. We talked about the All-Stars. And as a guy in the Braves system who I believe the way he's going, he might be an All-Star himself. And we'll go into the prospect of the week, which is once again Vaughn Griffin.
He's been tearing it up. I've been watching him.
Yeah. So, he's been prospect of the week twice, I believe, already.
Twice.
And it was both times he was an A-ball, but they moved him up to Double-A Mississippi. And he's been killing it.
He has.
The week that he got it for, he went, I want to say 3 for 5 back-to-back games, had 3 RBIs in each one of those games. And he also hit his first Double-A home run. So I mean, you see. Matter of fact, let me go to it real quick. If I can find it. Well, I had it. Okay, here it is. So he moved up he's a number 4 prospect in the Braves farm system now. With Waters gone and Harris gone and all of that.
Right.
But he's been he's been brilliant. He went 3 for 5 for the second straight game. As Mississippi beat Rocket City. He had 3 singles in his debut. And then in the second game, he had 2 singles and a home run. And for the season in High A, he batted .312 with a 404 slugging, 11 home runs, 55 RBIs.
Jeez.
So he's been getting it in, man, and he's definitely deserving of prospect of the week. And
Definitely.
like honestly, man, at the rate he's going, he may have one more season in the minors, and they probably gonna see what he does because he's plays multiple infield positions, so we're gonna see what happens.
We'll see.
So this up next we got we only got 3 games this week.
Yep, 3 games this week. Starting Friday
against the Los Angeles
Angels. I be wanting to say the Anaheim Angels still, but I forgot they Los Angeles.
I had to catch myself.
I thought it was just me.
We got 3 games set Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What's your take on it, dog?
As I always say, you got to beat the teams you should beat. You got to win series. In this case, I'd say we sweep. It's at home. The Angels are 39-53. Yeah, they have Trout, but I think he's on the DL. I don't even think we'll see him. I think he's injured.
Yeah,
you got Ohtani, but the Angels, I mean, they've been horrible for expectations. They have not been good at all. So this is a team I think you should sweep. We should go 3-0 against them at home.
I agree, man.
I'm just gonna lay it out there.
Ohtani is starting. He's starting Friday night.
I'll be watching that because he's one of the players, man, that I would probably trade a lot for to get him.
Yeah,
I would trade a lot to get him.
It all depends. Like, if they was offered a trade, it couldn't include Riley. It couldn't include Swanson.
No.
It couldn't include Olsen or Cunha.
Or Freed. Yeah, anybody else you can have.
Probably Kyle Wright and Michael Harris.
No, yeah, I forgot about Harris.
Anybody else, I wouldn't have too much to say about it, but it's like 7 to 8 names. I'm like, nah, unless Swanson came out and said, I ain't re-signing. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Well, it's 8. You forgot somebody. We can't get rid of Will Smith.
Shit. They can cut Will and just eat the money. I wouldn't even be too mad about that.
Oh my God! But yeah, those are series we got to win. I'm saying we got to go 3-0, and that then into next week. I know we'll be back on the podcast, but then you got 3 at Philly.
Yeah,
sneaky Philly. There's only 6 games behind us right now, so.
Yeah, and they need to again beat LA, but they have to beat Philly. Cause you got all Philly's a wild card possibility. That's what they gunning for. So we can't let them creep up on us, right? So they got Philly starting that Monday on the 25th, in Arizona. So they got 6 games next week that we both looking forward to.
Yeah, and the Angels right now, man. Well, of course, everybody's on the All-Star break, but the Angels it's coming in now, losers of 3 in a row.
Right.
So, like I said, they have not been good, man. I mean, it's been talk of should Ohtani want to get the hell out of there and go somewhere else, but
can't blame him.
Trout stays injured. I mean, great talent, but stays injured every year, and they just haven't done it much for what they have out there. So
yeah.
You got to sweep this one at home. Got to.
Yeah, and hopefully they will, man. But
yeah,
so coming up next week on our next episode, again, what we're gonna do next episode, because we couldn't squeeze it into this one because we've been talking all night, but we are going to do a mid-season breakdown, mid-season report card. Maybe issue out some mid-season awards for the team, and then give our predictions of what will happen for the rest of the year. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Got a couple people who I talked to that might come on with us and talk about it. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be next Tuesday.
Working on getting that Mets fan on. that we
Yeah.
talk about this in our group, Father Time.
Father Time. See if we can't get him in. But yeah, man. So we got a lot coming up. Guys got a couple days off, and then we'll be back. They'll be back Friday, and just like them, we'll be back next week as well.
Back on it, baby. Back on it.
You got any closing remarks you want to leave the people with?
3-0 this weekend, starting Friday. 3-0.
Okay,
that's my remarks.
As for me, I'm looking forward to the second half of the season.
Yep.
If I could leave you all with a brief word of advice, stay inside. Now, I don't know where everybody is, but where I'm at in Houston, Mother Earth is tripping, and she is burning us up. So stay inside, keep your pets inside, drink plenty of water, and, avoid this heat if you can. Check on your elderly neighbors and friends. Keep an eye on your kids out in this heat, man. It's not playing. And
that's real talk.
I want everybody to make it through in one piece.
Right.
So that's what I got. Now, on behalf of my boy, Mr. Jermaine J.P. Powell, behalf of myself, TK, once again, shout out to my boy. This is my dog, Acuna. He was dazzling at the whole All-Star weekend.
He was.
On behalf of the entire Chop Shop podcast, this has been episode number 11, and we are looking forward to seeing you guys for 12 and many, many more. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the likes, shares, and follows. And as always, let's go Braves.
Let's go.